Holy shit! Did you see that? Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Stranger Things in Dead by Daylight. Who would have thought? Seriously. 3 years ago, we released this little, $20 game, and now...
I would have never known.
Stranger Things. All right, we're super excited to have this new chapter ready for you to enjoy. Giddy, I think, is the right word. The fact that we managed to just getting in touch with Netflix, it's not easy. And then actually, the conversations with them were super fun. They were very excited for us to do this. The people that we talked to over there actually understood the game. They knew about the game, and they wanted to make it happen. It was amazing, a beautiful experience. Other than that, it's also very professional people, and they had tons of help and inspiration. It was actually super fun to do. We are, so far, all the licenses that we've put into the game have been very
Classic.
old classics.
Yeah.
These things are the building blocks on which so many horror icons were built, actually. And so that's sort of the playground where we were in. And now with the release of Stranger Things, we are in the middle of the current biggest horror thing that there is, arguably. So we're very excited to show you that. We have a few other surprises in there. Let's get started and dig a little more into that. So today with me, I have a returning, very impressive guests. It's true. Some people are impressed by you.
Sure.
Insane, yeah. But your work mostly, not necessarily, although you're tall. So Yannick, who's a game designer, most of the time you spend your days trying to devise new killer powers and trying to tweak existing ones.
Yeah.
Like reworking.
Perks also.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, mostly about new content.
Okay. And then Phil, who directs artists.
Yes.
So you don't really do anything, you just point at people and go, be better, more or less.
In every language
As far as
possible.
I understand. Yeah. Okay. So I'll talk a little bit about what the toughest thing on the license purely was, because that's one of the parts that I worked on. So getting in touch with Netflix and trying to do any sort of agreement with such a huge company was a learning experience that was very educational for me. It was really cool though. They, as I said, they were excited and they were enthusiastic. So it was really, really fun. And the fact that it's a current license, it's live, it's moving. It was fun also because actually we started talking to them about doing that before they released season 3. So we actually got privy to a few spoilers beforehand, not too many, and we tried to keep it to a reasonable level because some of us, well, actually all of us, have watched the show and are kind of fans. So it was sort of a bittersweet thing to be able to peek behind the curtain on that one. But once the agreements and everything was set, it was super fun to work with them because they have a lot of reference material. They were super active. The writers were involved so that they could look at the text that we were doing. They had, as I said, not only just reference from the show, but like behind the scenes pictures and their own ideas what it could be, and they could give us a few highlights of what's coming. Some great things, for instance, for the alternate outfits for the DeMorgan. We'll get to that a little later.
Cool part also was they were open to ideas. And they were pretty happy with it.
It's not all the license holders, and it's certainly not a judgment. I mean, it's your license, you can do whatever you want with it. But some are more open to others, to interpretations and reimaginings. And in this case, we were given a little bit of freedom on that.
That's cool.
So how much freedom were you given in that?
I think we went with the Hawkins lab, so we wanted something interior. But clearly there's room we don't explore in the show, so we had this freedom of adding some storage room and more complex one with the
creating a few specific props and things.
Yeah, like the I don't know if we want to talk now, but the
Sure.
hook, the hook was something that I was pretty excited to show some ideas to them, and
It's always a good showcase of another aspect of the chapter, the hook.
Yeah.
It's a fun place to play.
yeah, and the look and feel is really the upside down world feeling, and it's the first hook that we added some animated object. The object which are the rats we found in the season 3 that we didn't know before.
Yeah, we should probably put a big spoiler alert if you haven't watched season 3
Put a
of
big rat.
Stranger Things. Just go watch it and then come back.
And that's where Matthew, the guy from Netflix, told us, I'm going to tell you some spoiler. I'm like, I need to listen, but it was pretty cool actually to add those rats. And in the end, they're playing a big role in the season 3.
Yeah. Yeah, so okay, so we went in and placed a few, like we like to do that. I think it started around the lullaby that we started to
Boring,
put a lot more of the storytelling in the actual environment. And in this case, we were able to do a few winks to specific moments in the series, right?
Yeah, like if we take example, if you go on second floor, there's the isolation room where 11 push back the guard on the wall, so we wanted this crack on the wall. There's some interrogation rooms, some cages where you see the cat thing, the interrogation and the testing. And on the first level, we have the Rift Lab, which is one of the main room that we really wanted to push.
But it's
the
very
little
present in the series, so.
Yeah, and there's also the elevator tucked in the.
So is the map in the Upside Down, or is the map set in the real Hawkins?
It's in the entity Hawkins.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I wanted to get at.
Yeah.
Is it the first time also that we have dead bodies?
No,
it's
there's
the
some in
second
the
time.
game.
Yeah? Okay,
Yeah.
because they were really predominant in the room that you talked
Yeah.
about. I was caught off guard
There's
a
some in
bit.
the
Like,
game.
it's just you have
But
to
the
enter
thing
and-
is, and that's what people have to remember is that this is a space that's crafted by the entity out of people's memories.
And those
But they're not real. Not real bodies. That's what you mean?
those body are dead.
They're as real as other things.
The actual lab is taking place after season 2 aftermath, like where everything goes to banana.
Yes.
And we can see some bullet hole on the wall, some little fire here and there. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of chaos going on. So we wanted to play with this, play also with the infected region, which is more the Drift Lab part, and the other one, which is the other side of the Drift Lab, which is not safe, but it's people think it's gonna be
not
safe.
as messed up.
No,
Let's
not
say.
as messed up. Yeah, we also, like I was saying, the infected region and the other region, there's color code, and for the exit tile we work with a reddish color, so it's easier for them to find the exit, because interior map tend to be a bit chaotic if there's no code.
We did put blinking lights
Yeah.
to tell you where to find gems, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially one gen like at the top, which is in the interpretation room. Like it's the main gen of the map where it always spawned. It's one man gen. Like it's at the end of the corner, and your back is like to the door, through the door. So it's very
It's not a
intense.
comfortable place to
No,
be.
exactly. You don't want to be there that long. Like it's just it's very.
Plus, you have to be there long because it's a one-man jam.
Yes, exactly, by yourself. Yeah.
The flickering light also is a key element in the show when
Yes,
they're
of
running the
course.
corridor. So we wanted this feel too, and with the sound, I think everything coming together is creating this creepy effect. Because even the DeMorgan is pretty creepy. So everything combined, it's
Yeah. On that note, the Demogorgon is our first non-humanish character,
Yeah, he doesn't have a mind like other killers.
and the size was also not. normal.
No, it wasn't normal. And when we first got the mesh, because they provided us with
Yeah,
the
they
mesh.
did share the mesh. That's the good thing is it's not a real monster, so it's CG in the show. So they shared the mesh, which was really cool.
We had to tweak some stuff to make it work in our engine, but the actual size we put in the game, we thought it was good, but when we unched him, he was a bit too small. Dwight was taller than him, so we had to
Beef him up.
Yeah, beef him up a bit, and it was a bit more complicated than we hoped for with the rig and everything.
Yeah.
So we had to.
And
It was pretty complex.
Oftentimes, when we create a killer, we try to reuse at least some of the animations. In this case, it was
If I
almost
may add,
impossible.
Like
No.
no, seriously. So when we started with the prototype, we don't use the model, but at some points the model comes in and like animation over time like replace what it is. And the first few games we did with the model, like the feedback was like this is insane. Like looks so stupid. It looks like a guy in a suit. Because I mean, he was so tall, so huge, but
No, but he was using the default
exactly.
animations
so
like the
people were
trapper.
just like laughing. It's just this is so
A
fun.
naked
It's
guy
just so
running
stupid.
after you.
Yeah, but that's like exactly like the engine we have. Like we want to scare the shit out of people, and just people are laughing and just having fun,
Yeah, that was
and want to hug the monster. Just like, maybe that's
And then people stopped laughing
Yes.
yeah.
because it was pretty scary at some point.
Seriously,
Yeah.
when you see that monster and he gets
With all
into
the
stock
animation.
mode or something,
Yeah, he
and I
opens
don't
the
know
mouth.
what it's called, but
We have the
Flower mouth.
yeah, exactly. We really wanted to have
yeah,
this in the,
and
in the game.
it works.
And
it works.
The animator did an amazing job for
Yeah.
his
As
stance.
usual.
Yeah, and
Yeah, because his limbs are not like normal.
No,
like
There's
the way
nothing is default on
No.
that.
he has like a double arm thing.
Yeah.
Can do the bacon.
even the pounds, they had a lot of difficulty making it feel like natural and just it's a totally new sets of attack.
But a great addition to our list.
I was gonna ask that. But yeah, it is a great addition. I mean,
Yeah.
it if anything, also it allows us to play a little outside of our comfort zone, and it's always good. So now the comfort zone grew bigger, and who knows what it might lead to in the future. Now we have that. All right, let's talk a little bit about the teleportation of the DeMorgan.
Yeah. So when we knew we were gonna do the DeMorgan, that's one thing we look at where like he has this ability of somewhat appearing behind the
It does tend to
character.
surprise people.
Yeah, exactly. So we thought like, could we like relook at the way like we because we already have a teleport effect in the game, like the hack does it, and she also has a slight deviation of
No,
her.
Freddy does it.
Oh yeah, exactly. That well, we have two actually. You're right, and she also the hag has the add-on that's make her like able to use the teleport, somewhat similar to Freddy again.
That you
Some
can
of which-
teleport to any one
yeah,
of your
exactly.
traps.
That you choose. So we look at those and wanted to have something different. So we ended up with like having the portals effect. So connecting with the Siri, yeah, sure. He can navigate throughout this world. We think, right? And
Unclear again,
yeah,
which
exactly.
is great for us.
Yeah, exactly. So we decided that he has to put 2 points on the map, and whenever he's standing on one, he can teleport to the other one. That was one aspect of the killer that we wanted to make, where like it gives like a good map control,
Yep.
something that killer players always beneficiate.
Yeah, the two questions is how do I get map control and how do I get better in a chase?
Yes, exactly. Because actually, that wasn't that easy to to use in the chase. The way we made it, because whenever you use the portal, you have to charge.
There's a delay, and then
yes,
you
exactly.
lose visibility for a little moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's not as efficient as the AG, for example.
No, it's for catching up to people, because the thing is, when you're standing on one, you also see the outline of the others.
Yes, you have to choose where you want to teleport. The portal you want to teleport to. But there's also one aspect that we really like about the DeMorgan is being a beast.
Yep.
So we thought, how can we create a mechanic around this aspect. And well, it's more like in the second series where like this demo dog, where they are way more feral than the big version. But I thought like, why not like exploring like maybe like a short distance attack, something that will like help you cut the distance and chase and could somewhat help you, but not be too overpowered and develop the character just around this aspect. So we ended up with having like this pounce where the creature like in the show opens the tulip mouth, whatever, like the head, and it really scares people, but at the same time it gives them the hint.
Just really cool.
Yeah, but it gives them the hint that he's gonna be in your face in a matter of seconds if you don't move away. And if you press now the attack button, then you'll be launching a fast forward attack. And
so you can't maneuver while you're doing it.
No, exactly. It's straight. You somewhat can maneuver at the end, like just to give a good feel of the attack. It has also a slightly wider range cone of damage, so you have better chance to hit the survivor. But on their side, like they really have to time. Survivor can escape or avoid the attack, but they really have to time their movement.
They'll have to learn.
Yes, exactly.
The timing. It's like anything. It's like the nurse jumping at you.
There are a few things like we learn like trying to drop a pallet on the head of the killer when he does that is very hard. So you better drop it before he pounces. Yeah.
You're gonna miss the stun, but you're gonna live.
Yeah, exactly. And if I may connect the map to the DeMorgan, it's great because
there's
like,
a lot of corridors.
Yeah, the pouncing is not that easy to use, but he has the teleport to really help him get a good map coverage. But the thing is that in the lab that Phil was referring to, there's like an overedge where like a catwalk where survivor can go, and sometimes they just like tease the killer whenever he comes in this room. He's just like, survivor over there, they cannot do anything. But as the killer, you can go upstairs, and there's like this window floor that you can go on, and you can use your pounce attack to reach them in one shot. It's the first time that happens, like, so I was just, oh, what the hell is happening? Just,
feels unfair, but it's super fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's good.
A more advanced aspect of the killer, if I may explain. There's the you were referring to the because whenever you
when you hold the pounds,
when you hold your power button, you actually sort of connect to the upside down in this effect, where you can feel your portal, and we made it that if any survivor is within the radius of your portal, you can sense them with the killer instinct aspect. It's a tiny effect that we feel will probably be used by more advanced player, but
can survivors do anything to your portals?
Yes, that's I was going to that, because why would survivor
hang out?
Like next to a dead trap. Survivor can, on their side, they can interact with the portal and close them. So they can there's a tug of war effect that happens between the killer and the survivor. And the funny thing is that it's really cool for the survivor because they somewhat have a glimpse of what the upside down is whenever they get in contact with those portals. So they get the upside down effect on them, and during that time they don't hear the killer terror radius. So they are
oblivious.
Oblivious, yeah, exactly what that is. That's what I said.
Oblivious. Again, we didn't put the disclaimer at the beginning, what we should have, but every single number, every single thing that we discuss right now is how it is at the moment we're talking to you. Yeah. And it's gonna change through the PTB. There's usually 1 or 2 iterations during the PTB, so these numbers might not all be valid by that time. They'll be tweaked, and then by the time it releases live, it's gonna be different from what it was on the PTB, most likely again. So just putting it out there so people remember that. This will already be obsolete by the time you listen to it. Perks. Shall we go with the perks of the DeMorgan?
Yeah, sure.
First is called Surge. Not Serge.
No.
It'd be terrifying.
I vote for Serge.
Someone Serge.
Okay, no, please, do go on. What does that do? When you whack someone and they go down?
Yeah, with your base attack, it's very important. Yeah. When you smack somebody with your base attack.
So it's not gonna work with the chainsaw?
No, exactly. Or the pounce of the DeMorgan. if you down somebody, with any generators within a certain distance from the location that you are will explode all generators. And
It's like you kicked all the generators.
yes, exactly. It's a free kick, and also gives like a slight
Bonus.
additional regression to the base kick that usually happen. So
That's
it's not a
very
good.
nice.
If like Survivor, whenever you're in a chase, just don't go in the direction of a gen that is being done. Basically.
But as a general rule, it's not a good idea because you want to leave your friends to do
no,
the gens.
but if you want to be an asshole, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just so.
Well, then you're giving advice to people who want to be assholes. So,
Yeah, sure.
it's not gonna
We
work.
have another assholes perk actually.
Is it
next
cruel confinement?
Yes, exactly. Cruel assholes confinement. So whenever you a survivor pops a gen, all the windows and vault location, not pallet, windows and vault location from a certain
Within a
radius,
radius?
will be blocked for all survivors, not the killer, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And the killers see the location aura of the block.
So it's a great idea.
Window.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, so that
it lasts.
sucks.
It lasts also for
But
35 seconds for now. So if you like a survivor pops a
so
gen,
once you pop a gen, the
You see
area
the-
becomes a lot less safe.
yes, exactly. It's better to hang around, or just like pop a gen in the face of the killer. That's like in a shack, for example. Maybe that's not something you want to do.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
all you
People who
think of-
hang out until the last minute, they're
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh, I'm going to get away. I have to finish it.
Yeah, and then loop the killer
Yeah,
around the
nah,
shack.
not going to happen.
No, exactly.
Okay. And the third one is called Mindbreaker.
So whenever, yeah, exactly. So if you go repair a gen that is under 50% of progression,
Yes.
you'll be affected by the status
Exhaustion.
effect. Exhaustion, exactly. So if you have perk that active based on the exhaustion, well, you're saying like probably, well, just when I'm doing gen, but if you have a cooldown on one of those perk, the cooldown is paused. So
Okay.
if you already activate sprint burst, for example, and go repair a gen, then your sprint burst will not degress.
Refresh while
Yeah,
you do that.
exactly. And the effect persists for 3 seconds after you leave the repair. So if you
So that sucks a bit.
yeah, so if you repair and you see the killer coming your way and you want to like sprint burst whatever, it's not gonna be possible. So you have to walk a bit.
Okay. That's very interesting.
It helps the killer to close gap.
All right. Moving on to the survivors.
We have 2 survivors.
What?
Does it mean we have 6 survivor perks?
Yeah, probably. That's all you see, right? It's perks
yeah.
everywhere. Just perks as
Yeah,
far as
especially
the eye
like
can see.
you told me like this time we have to make 6. What?
But so yeah, the choice of survivors was a long conversation when we started this chapter.
Yep.
Everybody has their favorite. Everybody was saying, "Oh, it should absolutely be this person or this person or this person." There's a few that were out from the get-go. Like we sort of did not really a chart on a board, but we talked about all the different possibilities, and some of them, like already, if you like Will and Mike and all the other kids, they're kids. We don't want to beat up kids. You don't want the hag
Kill
to
them.
rip kids' kidneys and eat them. No kids.
Yeah.
So the kids were out. Then
Barbara?
Barbara.
Barb is a favorite, but Barb dies.
She's not my
And she dies early. She yeah.
We have our glasses in the add-ons.
There
The
you
killer.
go. That's perfect. And there's a few others like this that we sort of stroke up the record, but Steve and Nancy is what we ended up with.
Yes, and we didn't. At that time, we didn't know what was happening in the last season,
Yeah.
and we were pretty happy to see that they had a bigger role. So yeah, we went with Steve and Nancy.
Well, that's it. So when we talked to Netflix about that, and they're like, "Yeah, it's a good choice. They've got a good arc in this 3rd season. They also directed us a little bit to make sure that we portrayed them in the right way because." Obviously, again, we didn't want kids, so they had to be the Steve and Nancy from the 3rd season, even though they may have outfits and moments and things that
Yeah.
talk about their history, and they still own those clothes, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And the cool part was also we could have the likeness.
The likeness is always a tricky one
Yeah.
as far as art goes, because
Yeah.
recreating real people is tough.
Millimeter makes a big difference. Sometimes you move something, the shadow cast differently, and then
But and you know, hair has always been difficult in our game. It got a lot better
Yeah.
in the last couple of years, but
we're still.
but if you're doing Steve,
Yeah,
you gotta
so-
have hair.
So for Steve, we really wanted to keep his iconic hairstyle. So, and Nancy had some different hairstyle, but Steve has a very
Is that like 4 puffs of the Farrah Fawcett spray? Is that
Farrah
it?
Fawcett. Yeah. So for Steve, we put extra hairspray.
But yeah, it was exciting to actually do 2 survivors this time. So
Yep.
obviously, you know, Ghostface didn't have one. We're allowing ourselves to change the recipe a little bit on what a chapter can be, and these 2 are so cool, and they I think they represent the series very, very well.
Yeah.
So the likeness was probably the toughest thing on this.
This and for me, Nancy was. I wasn't sure at the beginning because she's very shy, not confident. But we pushed her confidence side when she's getting more confident in the show, and then 3rd season she's even more confident. So that was cool. And Steve Wall is just this badass guy that everybody wants to play. And yeah, that's,
All right, survivor perks, 6 of them.
Yeah.
How painful was that? It was all right.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever this time, I think that we were somewhat lucky because we ended up with like a lot of interesting perk, and we thought originally that we're gonna keep those for next Survivor, right? Because we have to
Some
make them
good
because
ones.
they're really good. But I said, okay, well, here's the chance to put everything in the same release.
And the thing is, it's 2 very different characters also.
Yeah,
so it
exactly.
allowed us to
Some
be a little
of them
wild.
like fit like when we look at like the sort of character that Steve is and Nancy. Like there's, of course, we could discuss that some of them might not fit 100%, but there was one like each that it fits so much. The
Yeah.
character.
the
first
like
one-
let's talk to Steve.
We had to name one the babysitter, right?
For sure.
And when
For sure.
we saw this perk, like it's so of course like all perks they change throughout the development, and but this one like it was the idea is that you help others. It's not like a bit like the Bill's perk where you
borrowed time.
borrowed time exactly. That like it's not about the survivor. I mean, it's something that you give to other.
So what do you give others?
So when you unhook a survivor this time, the unhook survivor do not leave scratch marks and blood trail for 8 seconds. And on your side, you're the lucky bastard who has his aura revealed to the killer for 4 seconds.
But
So
you
it's
see
like-
the killer's aura.
Yes.
what it
Also,
says.
yes, exactly. So it's like, come get me. I'm
Yeah.
over there.
And you can take a hit for them or something.
Yeah, exactly. So you
Mm-hmm.
can think of other perks that you can combine with this.
That's great.
Yeah.
And that I mean, that with borrowed time would actually be
Yeah, exactly.
pretty, like making sure that people live.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good. So babysitter. The second one is camaraderie,
Yeah.
which
So it's something that was requested from the community, where like a perk that extend the time on the hook,
Okay.
and we weren't sure like it's something that factors you have to factor the killer in this. Like you just
Yeah.
cannot just we'll give 20 seconds more on the hook. It's just like
So how does this one work?
this one is while you're on the hook and you reach a struggle phase, the perk activate, which
Yeah.
means that you're gonna be able to use it only once per game.
Yeah.
And well, of course, if you escape, none. Well, if you don't get hooked to
Yeah.
reach a struggle phase, and once it activates, if any survivor comes within a certain radius of you, at the moment 16 meters, the struggle phase pauses for 14 seconds. So it gives more time for the survivor to maybe distract the
rescue.
killer and make the rescue, exactly. And on the survivor side, we added that bar flashes to tell you that, okay, this guy has not one.
An extra few moments.
Yes, exactly. The killer
So
doesn't
take
see
your
that.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Go take a cup of tea. Yeah.
All right, and the last one is Second Wind.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he does get beat up quite a lot, and he keeps going.
Yeah, that's another one that when we saw like, oh, okay, we have to connect this to Steve in some way.
Yeah.
It's so much his character, like pretty much all the season.
So this one activates when you're healing someone.
Yes, exactly. You have to heal one full health state, which
Okay.
means that you can do a bit here,
No,
a bit there,
it's fine.
but you'll see the progression once you have the full heal. Yeah, the perk activate.
Does it trigger when the state changes, or do you have to heal for 100%? So if someone else helps you, then it's
No, well, you're just gonna get less if somebody else helps you healing on somebody.
So,
right?
so you have to heal enough by yourself
Yeah,
to
because-
fill one full bar.
Because our health system works, our healing system works in charge
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
So you have to take a number of specific charge, which equal one survivor.
Yeah, that's
similar
fine.
to the daily ritual that we
Yeah.
have. And once the perk is activated, the next time you are unhooked, you're gonna receive the broken status effect. And while you're outside the terror radius of the killer, the perk heals you over time, and after 20 seconds, you'll be fully healed. It's an instant heal. It's not an actual healing progress. Just
Oh, okay.
make sure you understand that. It's just like and because you're broken, nobody else can help you during that time. But you can just
Act
run
like nothing's happening, and
yes,
you'll
exactly.
get healed at some point.
Exactly. Go repair a gen or find a chest,
Okay.
whatever.
That's a very interesting one, but it's essentially a second chance also.
Yes,
So that's pretty good.
And when you lose the broken, when the perk heals you up, obviously you lose.
you go back to normal.
You lose the broken state,
Okay.
and if you are broken before the perk activate, this perk will never activate until you get rid of the original broken.
So
Obviously,
it doesn't
because-
work with.
Now, if you're
no
already
matter.
sick, for example, from the plague, and puts you on the hook, it's just like you're not gonna get any benefit from that.
Okay. What about Nancy?
Yeah, Nancy, the first one is better together.
Mm-hmm.
So when you work on a gen, you reveal the gen aura to not your aura, it's
The
really
gen's
important,
aura.
the gen's aura to other survivor in a certain radius.
Okay.
And while you repair the gen, if the killer downs somebody, you see everybody's aura poof, for a few seconds.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
The second one I think is a very, very interesting and unique one.
Yeah,
Which I
it's-
like.
Yeah,
It's called Fixated, and
it's something that like I think that especially new players will really enjoy, but we try to give a twist to like advanced
Yeah.
player to make use out of it. So it allows you to see your own scratch marks. So whenever you run or stop running, whatever you see when they show and when the killer can actually spot you.
And I think that for advanced players, it's actually super useful to be able to try to play mind
Oh
games
yeah,
with the
because
killer.
you can cut a corner and try to like
Yeah.
drive the killer in one direction. You can clearly see what he's gonna see.
On top of that,
Yes, you walk faster, 20%.
that's
Yeah.
kind of big.
Yeah, exactly. You like especially like build with sprint bursts, for example, or people who walk a lot. Like it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah. The last one is called Inner Strength.
That was one of the, I would say, like in all the 6, that was the one that we got most feedback out of it.
Yeah.
Like, very positive. Like people found it like very interesting, and
It's not a simple one.
no, it's not a simple one. And what I like about this one is like it fits also with Nancy's character, where like especially in the newer season, where she's really investigating and want to get like.
She gets stuff done.
Yeah, exactly.
So how does it work?
So each time you cleanse a totem, it activates the perk. Any totem
Okay.
X. And then once the perk is activated, if you are injured, you can get inside a locker and wait for 8 seconds to get a full heal. And then you can come out fresh and new. And
And
the only
so
way-
if you're hurt, you just cleanse a totem,
Yeah,
get into a
you
locker.
you can cleanse the totem at any time. So
yeah,
even
yeah.
though like just the
It's
match
just you can't
starts.
stack tokens.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
The match start, you find a totem, cleanse it, you're gonna get your perk activate.
Next time you get hurt, you just get in a locker.
Yeah,
It's like
and-
Superman. And then
since
you
this,
get out.
Yeah, and since this perk has been out, like I have difficulty finding totems because everybody's cleansing them. It's just like
And then it's gonna make some other totem-related perks quite a lot of fun.
yeah, sure, exactly. But the thing is, like, it's quite a powerful effect where like just
Oh,
8
yeah.
seconds, it's twice faster than a normal heal. But the thing is, you're still required to hunt for the totem first, and then find a locker.
And if
And
there's
it's limited. So
if there's 3 people on the map with that perk,
Yeah.
then the totems to clean are gonna get
Yeah.
rare.
Well, for the map, if we want to talk about the map, the last thing I would say was the exit tile. I don't know if we
Oh yeah,
talked
we
about
changed the exit time.
it. Yeah. So we wanted with the exit tile, the level to, when you cross the door, you'll see the upside down world. And I think it's a nice
A nice touch.
touch because we wanted to be in both worlds, but with time and everything, we
Yeah.
figure out that.
But we had to pick our battles. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't do everything.
Yeah, I think this is fun, and I think the point where the two meets is very powerful.
Yeah. I mean, the world of the entity and the upside down and is very interesting because it's
Yeah.
2 takes on the alternate universe. That's a weird reflection. So yeah, it's very interesting to try to
was,
mush those together.
it was very risky. I think also that something that you pointed out a lot often, like at the beginning of the production, is like how can we really achieve what they did in the show?
Yeah.
Like because the environment changed a lot, like, and I mean we cannot afford to do it.
And that's one of the reasons we picked the underground complex.
Yeah.
Is,
Well, we could have done a few different things. The house would have been interesting.
super cool, but
it's a
limited.
little limiting. You'd have to do the neighborhood or
We have a
something.
lot of woods
the
already.
school would have been
Yeah.
cool, but it's close to preschool.
But the mall,
The mall
The
would have
mall
been a really good one. That was sort of our second choice.
The mall from the new season was
Yeah, that's
also
it.
cool, but I think showing the Hawkins lab is
It's
the
much
source.
more core
Yeah.
to the series, for sure.
That's how people learn about everything. And
Yeah.
how,
It's a centerpiece of the whole show, and it was fun to play with that.
like somebody who came talked to me about giving me feedback about what we were doing, and I really liked his comment was like. So I was playing Steve and I was in the lab and then suddenly I meet Nancy and just like the DeMorgan pounced next to us. It just got like scared and we just ran away and then I realized, holy shit, I'm playing a Stranger Things game. I'm not playing Dead by Daylight. And then I meet Ash and he asked me to come to the gym. I said, what? Wait, okay. It's that's where
But
we
it's
are
true.
now.
I mean, when you're in that map with those characters and that killer chasing you,
Oh, yeah.
you're in the Stranger Things universe.
Yeah.
with Ash, it's almost like Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts, but
Yes, that's exactly it. We're creating horror Kingdom Hearts.
why not?
Actually, that's getting close. So, are you happy with this?
Well, I'm super happy to work on that license and to what we achieve to do with the animation, character, the level. I think it's a nice
it's really cool. Like it's almost stupid now, as much as we say that every time, but it's some of the best stuff we've ever done. It's almost like we're getting better.
Almost.
Stranger Things coming to Dead by Daylight. Who would have thunk? On that note, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Yannick.
Thank you, Mathieu.
Hope you had a good time. If you have more questions, ask them to each other because we're gone. Bye.